Moving on, the Los Angeles Rams.
They are excellent. And I think these next two teams are going to go by very quick because there's not a ton changing here on the Rams. This was a 10-7 win team last year, second place in the division, 11th in rushing, 10th in passing, 8th in points. Great offense overall. Same head coach coming back, Sean McVay. Same offensive coordinator, I think. The Rams and the 49ers that we're about to cover, it's hard to completely track.
Yeah.
I don't think the 49ers even list an offensive coordinator. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the Rams. I don't think it would even matter.
No. The O-line.
Yeah, O-line. They're losing a couple players. They were very good last year. They've signed enough guys to keep them good that I don't expect them to take a step back here based on their O-line.
Completely agree. Let's jump into the QB. Matt Stafford, ranked 15 in 15 games last year, currently ranked ECR at 19.
Yes, played 15 games, finished as QB 15. It's just always undervalued.
Yeah.
In a one quarterback league, I'm probably not going to end up with him a lot of times because I'd probably put him as like QB 15, 14-ish. He's even if there's that many guys that are good ahead of him, his production is in other years top 13, 14. There's just more quarterbacks this year. He's really good. He's undervalued in a 2 QB league at QB 19. Thinking back to last year, covering some of the stuff that happened in 2023 and how we expect that to be different and change for 2024. Puka Nacua was a rookie. Cooper Kupp was hurt. Van Jefferson was on this team getting a lot of snaps, and they decided to trade him away mid-year. That's not something you see happen a lot with playoff teams, where they just take an offensive option and say, like, no, we don't need you. We can do this without you. We'll trade you away for, I assume it was a pick.
Yeah.
But
the wide receiver,
go ahead.
This man will sling the ball. My favorite game last season was saying, hey, let's watch Matt Stafford throw an interception, and then he did it. It happened 3 times, I think. Still gets a lot of fantasy points, though.
Gets a ton of fantasy
points. Very good quarterback.
I think in people's mind, he's dinged a little bit because he has been hurt. Last year he was good. The year before that, he had a hurt back. He's had a hurt back in Detroit. He's not as old as you think. He's very good. If you're in a deeper league, he's better than QB 19.
Yeah, this man is an absolute dog. Moving on to the running back room, we have Kyren Williams, Blake Corum. Kyren was ranked 6th in 12 games, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
In his 12 games, he was ranked 6th, or is that 6th all season?
Okay, yes, 6th all season, but he only played 12 games. He's a 5th-round player who's going into his 3rd year. He was hurt last year for 4 or 5 games. He was hurt the year before that. I don't love predicting injury, but 2 years in, consistent. 2 years of injury. Yeah. I'm not dinging him a ton for that. He's at expert consensus rank of 8th running back. I think some of that is a fear of Blake Corum coming up. Higher draft pedigree, fills a similar role, and this team can just run. I don't know that Kyren Williams is an amazing player. I think this is just a team that produces rushing stats. They've done it with great players like Todd Gurley. They've done it with players that never went on to any other team like Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers, who was traded to the Vikings midseason last year and didn't really do anything there. They've signed players off the couch that nobody had on their practice squad and then had them come in and produce in playoff games. Like, they just have a good offensive scheme for rushing the ball. And I think that story is why people are afraid of Blake Corum coming in and usurping this role from Kyren Williams, who was a top running back option last year.
Yeah, I was looking at some Blake Corum stats. Obviously came from Michigan, which was a very run-heavy team, but he did average 19 runs per game. The man gets the ball a lot. He was healthy a lot. He seems like a real dog. Honestly, I think I don't know if I'll need to draft him if, because we don't have a really deep league on our hands. Maybe I will, but this is somebody I'm definitely going to be looking at a whole lot is Blake Corum.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Let me pull. I didn't even put his consensus ranking in here. I'll pull it up right now. He's consensus rank 42.
Wow.
He's one spot behind Charbonnet. I
That's
immediately,
2 spots.
actually,
Wow.
just play pick your pig here because Blake Corum 42, Charbonnet 41, Chase Brown 40, Jerome Ford of Cleveland at 39.
That's insane.
I think he's got upside over all of those guys.
I'd take him over Ezekiel Elliott, who's at 37,
Yeah.
Like,
Tajay Spears 35. I'm not expecting him to come in week one and start
no.
knocking it out of the park. But if you're looking for a guy with upside, I'd pay the extra dollar in the auction for Blake Corum over anyone else in this range. Guys behind him like Chuba Hubbard, Antonio Gibson, Rico Dowdle, Kendre Miller, Tyler Algier. One of these things is not like the other. One of them has top 4 running back potential, and the other guys are Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, the two things, like you already said, this is a team that runs really well, and Kyron Williams has gotten injured consistently. I think that could be free real estate. Moving on to the wide receiver position, we got Puka Nacua, ECR 7, Cooper Kupp, ECR 22. How do you feel? All right, first of all, let's just get this out of the way. Prize pig is going to be Puka Nacua.
I can
Do
see
you not
it.
agree with that? ECR 7 coming into his second year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp, I guess the real
Kupp's
question.
that blue collar hog, though. I
He
don't
could
think
be. He
he's-
hasn't been in the past. This could be his first year as a blue collar hawk.
That's true. He's not. He doesn't have star pedigree. I think he was a 3rd round player who then ascended to be a top 1, 2, 3 wide receiver, and now he's
Exactly.
kind of on the back end of his career. He is getting older. He's ranked 22 right now, which feels too late. He still has the ceiling of someone who's also very old now, Devontae Adams. He's got upside.
Yeah.
If this offense can produce a great running back and 2 great receivers, we've seen the Rams do that. They just need the players. They've been drafting receivers that just weren't good, like Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, guys that couldn't fill that role. But with Nacua, Kupp, and then some combination of Williams, Corum, and Stafford throwing the ball, they've got a good enough line. They can move up from, I think they were 8, 9, and 10 in their stats. I could see them moving higher.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. I think it's wild to see Cooper Kupp at 22 right now.
Yeah.
Just because I know in my what I would like to call dummy leagues of ding dongs, Cooper Kupp is always way, way, way up there at the top in being drafted. However, kind of a rough year. Totally get it. Whatever. Moving on to that tight end position, Tyler Higbee.
Nothing. He's a name that gets drafted every year. I wouldn't be surprised if he got drafted this year. He's expert consensus rank 33. This offense doesn't do a ton with tight end for receiving.
Yeah. Who's your prize pig in this team?
We covered. I feel pretty good with where we went. Puka Nacua, prize pig. Cooper Kupp, blue collar hog.
I'd put Matt Stafford at a blue collar hog. Easily.
He's a
That's a
textbook.
guy. Exactly. That man is an absolute fucking road dog, and he will do anything that he can to play. He could come out there with a fucking peg leg, and he would still want to play and get you
with
some
his
points.
back broken.
Yeah, and then he broke his hand or something in Detroit and was like, I'm still going to go out there and do it. And he was just crying in pain basically as he was dropping dimes for a tutty. The guy fucking rules.